All right, let's talk about something that's going to mess with your head a little bit. You know how you're probably grinding 50 to 60 hours a week, checking off tasks like you're some kind of productivity machine, and yet your career feels like it's moving at the speed of a DMV line on a Monday morning? Well, here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. I've been diving deep into how the top performers actually operate, and they're not doing what you think they're doing. They're not working harder. Hell, most of them work less than you do. But they've cracked this code that I call the asymmetric results framework. Basically, while you're out here playing checkers with your career, they're playing chess. And the difference isn't talent or luck or having rich parents. It's that they've figured out which 20-minute actions generate 80% of their career advancement. Yeah, you heard that right. 20 minutes, not 20 hours, 20 minutes. So stick around because I'm about to break down exactly how this works, why most guys miss it completely, and how you can start using it today to get results that'll make your coworkers wonder if you've got some kind of secret career cheat code. The great work ethic lie. Look, most of us were raised with this Protestant work ethic BS that says more hours equals more success. Your dad probably told you to keep your head down, work hard, and good things will happen. And honestly, that worked great in 1973. But in today's economy, that advice is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Here's the brutal truth. The guy who stays late every night answering emails isn't getting promoted. The guy who says yes to every meeting isn't climbing the ladder. The guy who's always busy, always hustling, always grinding, he's actually the guy who's going to get passed over for the promotion by someone who seemingly works half as hard. This is what I call the effort illusion. You think that visible work equals valuable work. But the reality is that 80% of what you do in a typical day has almost zero impact on your career trajectory. You're essentially running on a hamster wheel, burning a ton of calories, but going absolutely nowhere. And the worst part? You probably know this deep down. You felt it, that nagging feeling that you're working your ass off, but not really getting anywhere meaningful. That's because you are working your ass off on the wrong stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. The top performers have figured out that there are certain actions, usually very short ones, that have disproportionate impact. A 20-minute conversation with the right person can be worth more than 200 hours of regular work. A single strategic decision can accelerate your career by years. One well-placed email can open doors that months of networking events never could. This isn't some mystical concept. Harvard Business School actually studied this phenomenon and found that high achievers consistently identify and focus on what they call high-leverage activities. But here's the kicker. Most people completely miss these opportunities because they're too busy being busy. The Marcus Revelation. Let me give you a real example. I know a guy, let's call him Marcus, who was stuck in middle management for like 5 years. Good performer, worked hard, did everything right according to the traditional playbook. But he wasn't going anywhere fast. Then one day, instead of attending his usual Thursday morning status meeting, he spent 20 minutes researching his company's biggest competitor. He discovered they were launching a product that would directly compete with his company's main revenue stream. Instead of writing a report or scheduling a meeting to discuss it, he walked straight to the CEO's office and had a 15-minute conversation, just laid out what he found, and suggested 3 specific actions the company should take. That conversation led to him being put in charge of the competitive response strategy. 6 months later, he got promoted to director. 2 years later, he's a VP, all because of one 20-minute research session and one 15-minute conversation. Now, you might be thinking, great story, but that's just luck, and you'd be wrong. That wasn't luck. That was Marcus understanding something that most people don't. Asymmetric results aren't random. They follow patterns. And once you know the patterns, you can engineer them. The 5 leverage points. So what are these patterns? What are the 20-minute actions that actually move the needle? Well, there are basically 5 categories, and I'm going to break them down for you. First up, strategic intelligence gathering. This is what Marcus did. While everyone else is focused on their immediate tasks, you're spending 20 minutes understanding the bigger picture. What's happening in your industry? What challenges is your company facing? What opportunities is everyone else missing? Most people are so buried in their day-to-day that they have no clue about the strategic landscape. But 20 minutes of focused research can give you insights that make you look like a fortune teller. Second, high-value relationship building. This isn't networking. Networking is small talk at company happy hour. This is identifying the 3 to 5 people who can most impact your career and finding ways to provide value to them. A 20-minute coffee conversation with your skip-level manager where you actually bring insights instead of just kissing ass. A quick call with someone in a different department to understand their challenges. These aren't long commitments, but they build the relationships that actually matter. Third, visibility creation. Look, doing great work in isolation is like being the world's best mime. Technically impressive, but nobody cares. You need to make your contributions visible to the right people. This could be a 20-minute presentation to leadership about a problem you solve, or sending a concise email to your boss's boss about a trend you notice. The key is making sure the people who make promotion decisions actually know what you're contributing. Fourth, problem identification and solution framing. While everyone else is complaining about problems, you're spending 20 minutes thinking about solutions. But here's the twist. You're not trying to solve everything yourself. You're identifying problems that matter to leadership and framing potential solutions. Then you present both the problem and the framework for solving it. This positions you as a strategic thinker, not just another worker bee. And fifth, strategic skill development. Instead of randomly taking courses or getting certifications, you're spending 20 minutes figuring out exactly what skills will be most valuable in the next phase of your career. Then you develop those specific skills. This isn't about becoming a better general employee. This is about becoming the exact person your company needs for their next challenge. The addition trap. Here's where most people screw this up. They hear this framework and think, great, I'll just do all 5 of these things every day. Then they burn out in a week because they're trying to add 5 more things to an already overloaded schedule. That's not how this works. The asymmetric results framework isn't about doing more. It's about strategic substitution. You're replacing low-value activities with high-leverage ones. Instead of scrolling LinkedIn for an hour, you spend 20 minutes researching your industry. Instead of attending that pointless weekly meeting, you spend 20 minutes building a relationship with someone who matters. MIT researchers found that professionals who focus on high-leverage activities work fewer hours while achieving better results. It's just physics. When you apply force at the right leverage points, you get maximum output with minimum input. But here's the psychological barrier. It feels wrong. We've been conditioned to believe that if something doesn't feel like work, it's not valuable. So when you're having a casual 20-minute conversation that ends up being the most important thing you do all week, your brain is like, this can't be right. I should be suffering more. Get over it. Results trump effort every single time. Your career isn't graded on how hard you work. It's graded on the impact you create. Let me tell you about Jake. Jake was in sales, consistently hitting his numbers but never standing out. Then Jake spent 20 minutes analyzing his company's customer data and noticed something interesting. Their best customers all had something in common that nobody had identified before. Instead of just using this insight for his own sales, he shared it with the sales leadership team. That analysis became the foundation for a new customer targeting strategy that increased the entire team's close rate by 30%. Jake got promoted to sales manager 6 months later. 20 minutes of data analysis. That's all it took. Here's a practical exercise. Look at your calendar for last week. For each meeting or activity, ask yourself, what was the career impact of this? Be honest. Most of it probably falls into the neutral to slightly positive category. Now imagine if you replace just 3 of those low-impact activities with 20-minute high-leverage actions. 3 20-minute strategic actions per week equals 52 hours per year of pure career advancement activity. I recommend the Monday morning strategic session. Every Monday, spend 20 minutes asking yourself, what's the highest leverage thing I could do this week? Then schedule it. Put it on your calendar like it's a meeting with the CEO. Because it is, it's a meeting with your future self. The Monday Morning Challenge. So here's my challenge for you. This week, identify one 20-minute action that could have asymmetric impact on your career. Maybe it's researching a trend in your industry. Maybe it's reaching out to someone whose career you admire. Maybe it's analyzing a problem your company is facing and coming up with a solution framework. Whatever it is, do it. Schedule it like it's the most important meeting of your week. Because honestly, it probably is. 20 minutes that could change the trajectory of your entire career. That's not just a good investment. That's the kind of ROI that makes Warren Buffett jealous. And remember, while your competition is busy being busy, you'll be busy being strategic. While they're grinding harder, you'll be working smarter. While they're hoping for their big break, you'll be engineering yours. The asymmetric results framework isn't about working less or being lazy. It's about being intentional. It's about understanding that in your career, like in everything else, not all actions are created equal. Some actions are worth 100 times more than others. Your job is to find those actions and focus on them relentlessly. Your future self will thank you. Trust me on this one.